That's our leaders. Men teaching men. Yeah, if a nigga disrespect you, nigga, you ain't no bitch, nigga. Go smoke that nigga. Not teaching men to move in wisdom. Not teaching brotherly love. Not teaching unity. They teaching division.
Bring it out.
Teaching how to be a D-boy. That's what our leaders, all of the artists, and this is the music that you got little kids with malleable minds, brains that absorb everything like a sponge, easily influenced. You got these little kids listening to that. Let's over-sexualize our women. Let's degrade and disrespect our women. Let's talk about abusing drugs. Let's talk about using drugs. And let's talk about getting other niggas hooked on drugs. Our women. Let's talk about shaking ass using these niggas for money. Let's talk about, excuse my language, but this is the lyrics to the song. Let's talk about and I get some money. That's our leaders. That's the mindset of our leaders today. That's why the scripture say, read that again, Isaiah, and then give me your precept. Isaiah 5 and 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge. Their honorable men are famine.
It said, and that's the situation we're in. That's why we're in captivity, because all of the honorable men, they're no more, right? Read on, watch this.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Read.
Therefore, hell has enlarged herself.
Now hell, referring to the condition that we in. This condition known as hell. It said it did what?
Therefore, hell has enlarged herself.
It said it and opened up. Is it more than that?
And opened her mouth without measure.
Without measure. It said we're in such a position right now. It said all of the honorable men who was leading the people right, who was keeping our minds right, teaching us how to be on top, teaching us our work, teaching us to be royal. It's a famine of them. It's a shortage of them, right? It said, and therefore hell hath enlarged herself. The condition known as hell has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And it said that it opened itself up without measure. Meaning this is a bottomless pit of hell. Look at everything that our people are going through. That bottomless pit of hell is literally in our communities. I don't give a damn if you in LA, you could be in Texas, Mississippi. When you look at, you could be in Mexico, you can even be in Africa. Wherever the Israelites are, look at those conditions. Because the Most High said, if you forsake me, I'm going to forsake you. Now, if you come back to me, I'm going to come back to you. It's that simple. You got a precept? Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness.
Now, this one's a big one. Most High said destruction to those type of people. You got individuals that out here teaching, don't let nobody slut shame you, teaching you, even with like these fake holidays, oh, we do it for the kid. It said, Most High said, whoa, destruction to you people who are sitting up there trying to make it seem as if these things that people are doing that we know is wrong as hell is okay. And there's something wrong with us. We out here warning the people, you judging. You can't tell somebody that they wrong for wanting to be gay. You can't tell somebody they wrong because they letting their kid walk around as a little girl. They letting their kid decide what they want to identify as. No, you wrong as hell. As a parent, it's your job to teach that child, to discipline that child, to guide that child. So if you got a little kid say, Daddy, I feel like a girl.
Look down, boy.
There are sexuality, what is it called? The human anatomy is binary. Best way I can explain it. If you have a penis, you are a boy. If you have a vagina, you are a girl. Ain't no I feel like a woman stuck in a man's body. No, you probably been watching too many Disney princess movies and your father needs to get on your ass about that. That's wrong. There was an old guy called, I forgot what the commercial, what it was. But I guarantee you right now, you can't play it anymore because it's insensitive. There's a little boy and he was sitting there in the class and he said, boys have penis, girls have vagina. You can't say that no more. Because if you feel like a little girl, who am I to fight against that? Me as the adult who completely grasps sexuality, who completely understands the psyche of children who are so easily influenced. I can't guide them if they're being misguided. They should have the ability. You can't buy alcohol until you're 21. You can't get your license until you're 16. You can't buy cigarettes until you're 18. I think it's an age limit even if you want to buy condoms. But you know what? I think you're old enough to determine whether or not you want to be a boy or a girl. You ain't even hit puberty yet. But I think you're old enough. You be 19 years old. You feel like a girl? I get it. I understand. Like, exactly like Dwayne Wade's son. It's a damn shame, right? Give me Hosea 4:1.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord has a controversy.
He said, I got a problem with y'all, read.
For the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth.
There's no what?
No truth.
And
no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
He said there's no truth here. Ain't no mercy here. Ain't no knowledge of the Most High here. Well, guess what? Look at America. Ain't no truth here. Ain't no mercy here, and ain't no knowledge of the Most High. You got people to this day. God will still love me for being gay. That ain't what he said. You got people here still. God will love me even though I'm a hoe. I can go to church on Sunday and say I'm sorry. I could pay my way into heaven. You guys are sitting there making jokes, comedic movies and shows about Lucifer and hell and all these different things. It's a joke to you. But it ain't gonna be no joke on Judgment Day. It ain't gonna be no joke when you standing there in that line and you're like, oh shit, this was real. Oh no. Hey, you remember when you was in that movie that was glorifying Lucifer and you had all them angels that was a little, you know, a little fruity? Y'all remember y'all was making light of my warriors, right? I got something for you. Don't trip. Hey, Michael, get these niggas. Y'all want to make light. The scriptures tell you this ain't no game. It's not a game. We're literally right now going through a famine. Just because we live in America, the world of excess, where they breed food. We don't even have animals anymore. They're breeding food. They pumping them with hormones. They pumping them with antibiotics to keep them from dying so they can grow big enough before they slaughter them. The food is defiled. The vegetation of crops is defiled. There's no nutrients in it. There's an actual famine going on, and y'all think it's a game. Y'all not paying attention because you're looking at everything else. It's like, well, we still got basketball over here. Well, we still got movies and TV shows over here. That's the thought process of our people. We always got distractions. Well, guess what? One day, them distractions ain't gonna save you. Just because you don't see the truth does not mean the truth is not there. Just because you sitting there, well, I'd rather sit up, I'm chasing money. Well, guess what? Money ain't gonna be able to buy you a damn thing when the economy crashes. You'll be sitting there with bands upon bands upon bands, right? Guess what? You can't eat them dollars.
That's right.
The only thing that you're gonna be using them dollars for is to wipe your ass. That's the truth. Y'all so worried about, I'm trying to get a bag. Okay, it's cool that you're trying to be comfortable, but now, you get to a place right now where economically, America is disparaged. Economically, the world itself is getting worse and worse. As far as food goes, yeah, it is. As far as food is concerned, we ain't got much food. It's going to be in a place where they ain't going to be able to create this stuff in the lab no more. They ain't going to be able to grow it by them. They ain't going to be able to grow it and pump it with steroids and antibiotics anymore. Everything's just going to die. Ain't going to be no vegetation. Ain't going to be nothing. And guess what? Y'all ain't going to be giving a damn about no love and hip hop no more.
You need resources to do that if you run out of resources.
Absolutely. to a place where we running out the resources. This ain't no game. Even you look at this right here. This is like clockwork in the hood. Ambulance, fire truck, police car. Every couple minutes they popping up. Always. Yet we still feel like, oh, we ain't cursed, ain't nothing going on. No, yeah, this is real. And what the Most High requires of us as his chosen people, the biggest thing is coming out of the ways of this world. The biggest thing is coming back to your true heritage, your true nationality. We've been bamboozled. We've been fooled into thinking that we niggas, real niggas. We've been fooled into thinking that we African American. Very simply put, if you look at what, let's go through the bywords. Black. Black ain't nothing but a color. Or if you want to get the technical term of it, black is the absorption of all colors. African American. Africa is a whole damn continent. So, and then America is a country. And technically America isn't, it's not even a race, it's an amalgamation or a cocktail of individuals. A bunch of different races. America itself isn't a landmass that people originated on. So it's like, okay, you can't be black, that's just a color. You can't be African American because that's a continent and a country.
Bring it out, huh?
You can't be Negro because that's just Spanish for black. You can't be a nigga because that's the English rendition of the Spanish word, which literally just means black. So the question is, well, what the hell are you? Where do you come from? You ask an Asian or a Chinese person, what are you? I'm Chinese. I am from China. You ask an Indian person, an East Indian person, I'm from India. That's the truth. A Pakistani in Iraq, they know where they're from, and they even know where their ancestors were from. A lot of the Iraqis, a lot of the people of Iran and the Middle East, they know our forefathers were Sumerian. Our forefathers were quote-unquote Babylonian, Neo-Babylonian. You ask African Americans, really, if you ask Hispanics too, because they didn't originate over here either. They say, oh, our forefathers were the what do you call it, the Mayans and the Aztecs. Okay, but they had a particular place that they came from. They migrated here, right? And then when you look up the different languages, the different rendition of languages that they had here, a lot of people, a lot of the Native Americans, because even the Native Americans, so-called Indians, those individuals were all, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incans, they were all one people at one point. The Native Americans all came from the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incans too. But prior to that, they were something else. They used to speak what was called a rendition, a type, a dialect of Hebrew. And when you look into their history, when you look into their culture, it's very similar to the culture of the Israelites. You know why? Because even they were Israelites. So now, we've been called Mexicans. We've been called Puerto Ricans. We've been called Salvadorians. We've been called niggas. But the truth of the matter is this: you are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the children of the Most High. You
That's
guys
right.
are Israelites. And that's very important to know, because when you know who you are, and you know where you come from, and you know what's expected of you, you know your worth. And can't no pale face in an expensive Armani suit come and give you your worth, because you know it. That's just the truth. So now, with all of that being said, what does it matter? What does it matter that you know you are Israelite? What does it matter that you know you are God's chosen people? Who the hell cares? Well, let's see what the scripture says. Let's see what the Most High says. First thing I want, give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. We're going to be bouncing around today. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. What is the importance of knowing that you're an Israelite? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Holy, meaning separated from everyone else. He said, I pulled you to be distinct, to be something different, right? Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself,
Now watch this.
above
One more time.
all people that are upon the face of the earth.
He said one of the perks of you being God's chosen is you're supposed to be above everyone else. You're supposed to stand out. Now, here's the thing. Well, what is it that we're supposed to be doing? What's so special and divine about this? Give me Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Watch this. The Most High is very particular. He said, you are my special and chosen people. You being special, you being chosen, you being royal, there is a standard that I'm holding you to. And in holding you to this standard, it's going to come with benefits itself. Right? Read that, Joshua 1 and 8.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
So it said this book was full of laws. It's something that should never leave your mind. This is something that you should always be thinking about. Always meditating on, right? And let's see what happens when you do that.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then shalt thou have good success.
It said, and then you're going to be successful. Let's look at our communities. Let's look at our people as a whole. Are we successful? That's the question. As a whole, as a nation of people, do we see success amongst our people? Hell no, right? We the ones living in the projects. We the ones that's renting and can't own. We're the ones in the red line communities. We're the ones where you see the white sheets, the white sheets, the white tents. The coroner's always pulling up on our blocks. We don't own a damn thing in the same communities that we done lived in for decades and centuries. We own not a damn thing here. Clearly, we ain't blessed. We are at the mercy of our oppressor. But the Most High said that would happen if you decided to stray away and want to be like everyone else and not keep the laws of the Most High God.